All right, so we are going to review Chapter 7, our weather unit. And let's go ahead and turn to the right page. All right, so there's some important vocabulary that we want to go over, and that you've learned this in this unit. And as you've read through the story, you'll see words that are in bold, that is blacker than the rest of the words, such as temperature. And also here is highlighted, and the author does this on purpose. Why do you think that the author bolds it or highlights them? So if you were thinking, maybe if they're important words, maybe they're words that I need to know, and you would be correct. So those vocabulary words are words that you should know, and as you read through your book, you should pay attention to those. There's some vocabulary you looked at as temperature, a measurement of how cold or how hot something is. Precipitation, whew, big word, say precipitation. Is a word you may or may not have known before this, and is water falling from the sky. As it can be three types. So it can be in rain or snow or as hail. So there are different types of precipitation that can fall from the sky. And cumulus is a white puffy cloud. So cumulus clouds, you know that there are all different types of clouds, and each cloud is can be labeled a different name. So not always when you see clouds, of course, is you don't always have bad weather coming. You don't always have rain or snow coming if you see clouds. Sometimes when you see these white big puffy clouds and it's nice and bright and the sky is blue, it means that it's good weather. And then you'll see things like stratus clouds that form into layers of sheets, and those clouds usually means that some bad weather might be coming. You can see the sky looks a little different than this sky here. It's like dark and ominous. We'll take a look at some of the other bold-faced vocabulary words as we kind of scroll through the book and you've read these. And there's precipitation again. We've already talked about that. And then we will look at the water cycle. So the water cycle is a big piece of what you guys have learned and should know about. When you jump into a swimming pool, you feel the water on your body. This water is liquid. Water is not always liquid. When water heats up, some of it changes into a gas, and you can't see it. So when it changes into gas, water can evaporate or change. Let's go ahead and can evaporate or change from a liquid to a gas. So this water here, you can kind of see some of the liquid in the air, the water vapor, and it's being heated and it's rising. Sometimes you can't see that. And you guys did an experiment on that when you put the dirt in water and plastic over the top of the cup, and you saw the water rising to the top of the plastic if you put it in sunshine. So that's what heat does. It makes the water disappear or kind of go into gas up in the sky, so that it will form water and come down as rain, or some type of precipitation. So water can evaporate or change from a liquid to a gas, and the gas travels in the air as a water vapor. Water vapor rises in the air and condenses to form clouds. So these are all words that are important. Water vapor condenses. So here's the water vapor. You may or may not see it. And it goes up into the sky and cools and then forms a cloud. Water vapor rises in warm air. As the air cools, it can no longer hold the water vapor. So the water changes again. This time the water vapor will condense or turn back into liquid. The water forms into tiny droplets. Sometimes these droplets form clouds. Water evaporates from oceans, rivers, and lakes, and water condenses into clouds and can fall as precipitation. We call these changes in the water cycle. All over Earth, water is always moving through the water cycle. So here's a good picture. Water is warmed by the sun and it evaporates and rises into the air. Once the air cools, the water condenses and forms clouds. Then the clouds get too heavy and then the water comes back down onto the earth in the form of one of the types of precipitation. So here's precipitation can fall as rain, snow, sleet, or hail. Over time, rain and melted snow flow back to the lakes and rivers and oceans. So there we have a continuous water cycle. Very important that you know what the water cycle is. We have more vocabulary words as we go through this. Here we have your cumulus. It says that it's, so forecasters would say, oh, okay, well, we have cumulus clouds today, maybe tomorrow is going to be good weather, or that day is good weather is going to be coming. And here we have stratus clouds, and here we have cirrus clouds. Cirrus clouds means that the weather will change the next day. And when you see stratus clouds, it usually means that a storm with rain or snow is coming. Here we have the bad weather storms, and here's predicting. You guys read about that as well. And the water cycle again. So we're going to go to a review page to review some of those vocabulary words, and they're right here. So here we have when water vapor starts to blank, it turns into a liquid. When water vapor starts to, one of these words, which one do you think it is? If you said condense, you would be correct. The blank tells us how hot or cold it is. What do you think it is? If you said temperature, you would be right. Number 3, rain and snow are kinds of what? Read through those vocabulary words. Kinds of precipitation. Rain and snow are kinds of, oh, sorry, we just did that one. Here's number 4 is a picture of small white puffy clouds, and these are called what? Are they called cumulus or are they called stratus? Remember, it's going to be good weather's coming, and those are called cumulus. Can you guys say that? Cumulus. Big words. And you can see the sun through these types of clouds, and that would be stratus. Water can blank. It becomes a water vapor and goes into the air. So remember, we can sometimes see it, or it changes into, it goes as a gas or water vapor, and it evaporates. Water can evaporate. It becomes water vapor and goes into the air. That was your experiment that you did where you put it in the sunshine and you saw the water. Hopefully, you took your cup and you put your plastic wrap here, you could, the sun would heat up the water that was in your dirt, and you would see it on the top, the bottom of your plastic wrap or plastic that you put on top of your cup. Be able to describe the water cycle, and you can go back through the book. You've had several activities where you had to complete the water cycle. And if you know all of those, you will be good to go on your quiz and experts as second grade weather people. I think that's all that we need to go over, and have a great day.